What up, Juice World? This is Nomadic Juicer. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a natural food that helps kill parasites. I was doing a little bit of research this past weekend and wanted to share with you what I found. So with that, let's jump in. Now, you guys know that I talk religiously about parasites, what they are, how detrimental they are to your health, and that the fact that you need to deal with them if you really want to have true health and have true vitality, and get back to that state of youthfulness and joyfulness that we're all looking for at the end of the day. If you look at parasites in general, parasites fall into kind of like that decomposers aspect of nature. It's a part of nature. If you look at any other cycle or system within nature, you're going to find decomposers. You're going to find those parasites because they are what break things down. It's part of that death and rebuild phase that a lot of times humans don't really necessarily want to look at because it's a little dark, it's a little gloomy, but it's a necessary part of life. And to kind of give you an example of what I mean by this is that, let's say you're driving down the road and you see a dead deer or you see a dead animal carcass on the road. Well, what's going to happen over time is that you're going to start to see flies are going to attract to that dead animal carcass to start laying eggs. And as those eggs are being laid, they're going to eventually hatch, and those are going to become maggots. And those maggots are a parasite which are going to decompose and eliminate that dead carcass of that animal. And that is just what a decomposer does in life. And so in our bodies, we have this same basically system that goes on because so much of the food that we eat is not designed for the human body. And a lot of that food is basically just living in our colon, living in our GI tract, and causing havoc. But at the same time, it invites parasites to come in there and live, breed, and thrive in that environment. So to give an example, we have a number of different worms. So you would say almost 45 or 70% of people in the world have some type of large worm in their system. Worms, excuse me. And the average round worm can lay up to 200,000 eggs per day. Let me say that one more time. 200,000 eggs per day they lay. So you got to think about that on a daily basis. If you're littered with parasites because you don't eat properly, they're constantly reproducing and multiplying inside your system, and they're only causing more and more havoc. And some of the things that they cause include, lack of fatigue. You could have this sensation where you never feel full. That is a clear-cut sign that you have parasites, is that you have these intense cravings for things that are starchy, things like bread, things like pasta, things like pizza, things like junk food, things like sugar, cookies, all that processed crap. They love that stuff. And that is like the one tall tale sign that you have parasites. Also, you can have feelings of anxiety. You can grind your teeth. You can have excessive drooling at night. Even when you go to the bathroom, you'll see the parasites in your stools. A lot of people who are very skinny, a lot of times have malabsorption problems, and those malabsorption problems are tied directly to parasites. And I made a video about this in the past, and so you can go check that out, where I really dive into the depths of what parasites are. But I really want to focus on the natural food that helps kill these parasites. And with that, it is actually the papaya, and more specifically, the papaya seeds. So this past weekend, I've actually just been introduced to a gentleman named Dr. Aris Latham, and he was talking about just his raw foods and what he talks about. But he started to mention about papaya seeds and them acting as an anti-parasitic food. And so I started looking into a little bit deeper because my light bulb went off as soon as I heard that. And the seeds of the papaya act as a magnet and attract the parasites internally and then you will excrete those out through your bowel movement. So what you can do is that you can take a fresh papaya, you can take out the seeds, you can either put it in a smoothie, or you can just take the papaya seeds and eat it just with a spoon. And you do not want to chew on the seeds. You just want to put the seeds in your mouth, melt the flesh, the papaya flesh, and just swallow that whole. And let those seeds act as basically a magnet to go in there and kill those parasites. And then you'll just end up having a bowel movement, and they will come out. And you want to continue to do this for, I would say, at least 3 months, honestly. It doesn't have to be every day. You have to drink this same papaya smoothie, but I would say a couple times a week. You want to incorporate papayas into your daily regimen because you have to understand there is a breeding cycle, a reproduction cycle to parasites. And as I mentioned earlier, where the round worms can lay up to 200,000 eggs per day, there's other types of parasites that can lay up to 1 million eggs per day. And so what I'm trying to say is that it's an ongoing battle that you're trying to fight. So you take your anti-parasitic smoothie down one day, but at the same day they've already laid another 1 million eggs. So it's something that has to be done over time. And 3 months is usually the time where you can get the adults, you can get the larvae, and you can get the eggs that have been laid. So it takes time to kill parasites at each of those levels. And that's why this is something that you want to do for almost up to 3 months. So with that being said, I want to just share that little small tip that I found this weekend because I'm always talking about the herbs, using the herbs to kill the parasites. But now that I'm finding more of natural foods, this might make it easier for individuals who don't have the ability to get the herbs into their country. And that's one thing that I'm trying to really find out as I'm dealing with you guys, because you guys are such a global audience, is that these herbs are not always available in your country. So I'm trying to find other alternatives, and finding this papaya seed has really been a blessing. So if you do go ahead and go through with the procedure, let me know about it. I would love to hear kind of your testimony and how you felt about that. But with that said, I'm gonna sign off. I wanted to just share that little tidbit with you. You can definitely go check out Dr. Aris. Let him, his work. He's a great individual. But with that, I love you guys. My new ebook's out, How Do I Juice? If you're curious about getting into juicing, looking for more tips, looking for different recipes. Other than that, much love and be easy.